Hey there, Sagittarius. I hope you guys are doing well. I want to go ahead and get into your reading for the midpoint of July 2020. I've already had and pre-shuffled this reading just because I want to save time on shuffling. It adds time to the uploading. So let's just get into it. It's interesting. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Knight of Wands. Then moving towards things, you have the Nine of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Cups in reverse. Some of you may be dealing with a fire sign, a Virgo, a Pisces. Some of you may just be dealing with somebody who has been in and out of your life. There may be a consideration in regard to what you deserve in relationships, what you feel like you're receiving or not getting with the Nine of Cups. Oftentimes the Nine of Cups can talk a lot about feeling emotional satisfaction and feeling connected with people that love us and that we are in harmony with. But it's interesting here because we have this Nine of Cups and it's almost kind of like a dreamy like energy. Then we have the High Priestess, then we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. Okay, so it's almost as if like you might be keeping yourself quiet or keeping your feelings in regard to connections that you may have. Could be, again, like I said, a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarian energy. But it also could just be maybe where you're at in your own life. The Knight of Wands is somebody who is very excited to experience things, but oftentimes they lack the stability or the staying power to maintain something. It's a very get up and go energy. It's a very attractive energy, very communicative, a lot of really buzzy, expressive, exciting ideas and conversations, but this type of energy, it's not something that's going to provide long-lasting satisfaction here. And I feel, Sagittarius, that either you or somebody that you're dealing with is feeling a lack of satisfaction in a relationship or a situation, okay? With the High Priestess, again, it's this energy of going within, being silent, sometimes not communicating what you mean to say, what you want to say, you know, allowing others to just kind of play things out in front of you so that you can experience what you do and make your decisions based upon that. With the Ace of Cups and she being sandwiched in the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Cups in reverse, very different energies here. This can talk about a lack of love. It can talk about not receiving what you need in love. Also, it can mention would suggest where we are emotionally out of sorts when it comes to romance or trusting people or feeling connected with others. And so we can either go within and reject, or we can go within and fine-tune how we experience the connection that we have with others moving from this point forward. Because it feels like with the Nine of Cups being at the forefront here, this is what we want, but it feels also like this is the kind of energy that we receive. The Knight of Wands and the Ace of Cups in reverse, where relationships that we experience are less than wanted or they just really don't pan out. It's exciting for the first month and then it just kind of fizzles, and you know, it's like, why do I keep attracting these types of people? Why do I keep in a way, and this doesn't often fall with the High Priestess, but what I'm feeling here is, why do I hold myself back? What is it about me that is not why am I not experiencing the right type of people here? And oftentimes that can happen when we have baggage in love and connections with other people, when we have issues with our self-worth or what we've been shown or taught in regard to connections with others, you know. Sometimes, so much of our social media and life, you know, it's like we're taught to be subservient to people or to you know, almost lose ourselves in somebody. You know, it's really important that you have that perspective and distance within your connections. You know, maybe those are potential problems that might be, you know, an issue in your relationships where you connect with somebody and you lose yourself in them. And generally, I don't know if that's something that Sages do, but it feels like that type of energy where it's like you, somebody just isn't receiving what they need. And it could be due to previous or prior self-worth and value issues. But either way, there needs to be a healing here when it comes to the Ace of Cups in reverse. And I feel that somebody's willing to do the energy and work for that. And so, focus on what it is that you want in your life, the positivity within relationships, and even not even romantic relationships. What kind of outcomes and potentials do you want in your friend relationships, in your family relationships, your long-standing partner relationships that span different sectors in your life? How do you want those to look? I feel it's more romantic, but, just throwing it out there. Can you please show me the Nine of Cups for Sagittarius? Okay. So you have the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Cups, and then you also have the Devil coming out. Capricorn heavily prominent here, but it doesn't have to be just a sign. Pardon me. With the Seven of Cups here, this is telling me that the connections that you've experienced, or whomever this is for, the connections you've experienced here have been with people that have been more so dealing with sexual connections, affairs that really don't pan out too much. With the Devil, highly, firecracker energy between you and a person, but again, only to have it fizzle, and with this Queen of Pentacles showing up, it's telling me that this is something that you want. You want to change. You want better for yourself. You want stability. The Queen of Pentacles, especially in relationships, will not settle for anybody who doesn't match her in regard to the stability that she seeks within her own relationships. She wants to be able to take care of her children. She wants to take care of her own life. She's an entrepreneur. She's somebody that really just takes care of her own happiness and her experience in her home life and her work and all different aspects of her life. She's kind of the Earth Mother, but she's also somebody who is very rooted, deeply rooted in her own happiness. I love her, and I love the Empress. The Empress did pop out here for you. I will say that she is present here, so more Earth sign energy. But with that Seven of Cups, it's all about emotional confusion. It talks about potentials in opportunities with other people. It can talk about potentials in emotions that we feel and that kind of cloud our vision. When it comes to the Nine of Cups, it seems like we're really seeking this type of stable, connected, happy energy with people, yet we continually run across this Devil energy and the Knight of Wands energy where people are coming in, not being legit, not being honest, not sticking around. Maybe they're super sweet, but it only ends up in sex. It's that type of energy. So show me the High Priestess here. You have the Ace of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck for the High Priestess. So this is now time to emerge. This is time to emerge with new purpose, new direction, new focus in regard to your connections. And again, it doesn't have to just be romantic connections. It can be any type of connection that you want to heal in your life, in your relationships. Our relationships span many types and, flavors. With the Ace of Wands, it's a new direction, a new beginning, a new chance in moving towards what you want. There's a lot of passion here, a lot of direction. And also with the butterfly, transformation that happens. And that comes when we pay attention to what it is that we need. It comes when we don't give our energy over to people that can't fulfill us, because they can't fulfill themselves. They're not in there for that. They're just kind of going through the motions, doing what they need to do, sowing their oats, whatever it is. It feels like whatever you're wanting here, Sagittarius, is something far more spiritual and far more stable. And so with the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, it feels like you're kind of, allowing yourself that space and separation to do what you need to do to move forward in a new direction. And also, too, for people who are in relationships, this doesn't mean that you are, needing to break out of a relationship or that the partner is no good. This could literally mean that there needs to be a better connection in your relationship so things can get on a better foot. So, if you're finding that you've kind of fallen into a rut, or things have just kind of become humdrum, or you're in a very toxic routine with your partner, or, there's a lot of energy put towards something and then it just kind of falls apart. Like, you need to pay attention to those things. So even with people in partnerships, this isn't negative. It just really is talking about a change in direction here, a change towards what you want. And I think once that happens, you will have a better outcome in the experience for yourself. Show me the Ace of Cups. Actually, wrong deck here. Show me the Ace of Cups in reverse here for Sagittarius. Why is the Ace of Cups in reverse? So you have the Two of Wands here, and then at the bottom of the deck you have the High Priestess again. So more energy regarding the High Priestess showing up here. So really needing to pay attention to your intuition, the direction and guidance that you are being given on an internal level, paying attention to your spirit guides, your soul energies. You can also talk about communicating to your angels and spirit guides so that you can have a better outcome with this, so they can help guide you through. That's also something that we can do and ask for. You just have to ask, It doesn't fall in your lap like with angels and with guides and those types of energies. You have to open up your ability and your experience so they can come through. Dear angels, dear guides, please come through. Show me what I need to be shown. Connect with me, protect me. Dear ones that know my path and watch over me. Connect with me, protect me. Put me on the right direction. Put me in the right direction. Put me on the right path so that things may go as they need to, so that I may experience better in my life, so that I may achieve the things that are positive to me, that make me feel connected, that bring me into connection with other people that are a far better experience. That's what it feels here, is like with this energy, the Ace of Cups, you've been here before. There's a heart blockage here. There's an energetic decrease, it's just kind of like a stagnancy of the heart, a stagnancy within our emotions. And it's enough to have driven you into yourself, which I think is absolutely the best place to be, because that's the place where the most change happens, where we're looking in on ourselves versus trying to be fixed by an outer energy, especially with the energies that we may have been connecting to, because that energy, the Knight of Wands, the Devil, the Seven of Cups, it's confusion energy. It's energy that comes into our lives so that we can experience lessons to fine-tune us and get us back on track to what we truly want. With the Two of Wands, this is about a new direction. Do I choose the past and these experiences that I've had over and over again, or do I move forward? What is the potential for me? Can you give me a bit more for the Ace of Cups in reverse? Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So in regard to this, yeah, it feels like somebody has had a lot of experiences with opening their heart and allowing others in, and then it's just kind of like waiting for the other shoe to drop, everything kind of falls apart again. And I'm sorry that that's happened for whomever this is for, but with the Seven of Pentacles, this is really talking about addressing these things, looking at these things, looking at the potential partners that you come across in the future with, and, paying attention to what you've had in the past, like paying attention to why you've attracted these people, doing really good jobs in regard to not attracting that type of energy before or in the future, because now we're looking in on ourselves, being very honest and genuine with how we are experiencing our relationships, how we feel about ourselves, what we attract. It's a multi-spectrum thing, it's not just, oh, this new person comes into my life and blah, 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 it's all nice and fairy tales. Like, it's not about that. When you experience new people coming into your life, I don't want to say be wary about them. I don't want to say distrust them, but, especially before just giving your heart to somebody or assuming that they're going to fix things for you, or going into a potential relationship with the idea that this person is going to be your other half, or they're going to make everything better. We really need to separate ourselves from that idea at this point, Sagittarius. And, I know a lot of you guys are incredibly independent, and so you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? But there are people that have difficulties in relationships. They glom on to another person. They hope for the best and ride by the, the coattails of another person. It's about being your own identity. It's about being your own energy. And it's also about having a level of separation when it comes to the High Priestess. And I will say something in regard to romantic energies involving the High Priestess. She's not a very romantic card, but there are aspects of the High Priestess and the Empress where they seek out the best in relationships. They seek out people who are wonderful conversationalists. They're intellectual. They seek out experiences that are of the highest caliber. They want to eat in restaurants that, satisfy them on a multitude of levels. It's about entering into it's about blending the spiritual, the sumptuous internal aspects, the self-pleasuring aspects with the material, tactile, edible, tangible, tasteable, human experience here. And so they want the best of the best. And I don't think that that's wrong. I think that that's something that you should absolutely have and go after. With the Seven of Swords coming up here and the Seven of Pentacles, this is really telling me that we are looking into either the experience that you've recently been through or just a cumulative experience between you and other people where you've had negative energy, where you've had people stab you in the back, cheat on you, lie to your face. You've found out things about people that you really don't want to know. With the Knight of Wands coming up with the Seven of Swords here, this can talk about having dealt with a partner who maybe had a mistress in the past or a side meet, whatever. It doesn't have to be just a mistress. It can be whomever they may have been seeing in the past, but it's a secret energy. So here we need to really kind of decipher how we want to move forward in our relationships before we get eaten by our feelings and feel like there's no way out, because there is a way out, but it really depends on how you connect with yourself in regard to your own happiness. Okay. So let's see here. Moving forward, show me the High Priestess moving forward. That Knight of Wands here. So interesting energy moving forward. Knight of Wands energy. So it's almost disconnecting from this, and because the Knight of Wands as an energetic feeling trait, as an energetic movement, it's somebody who is very ready to move forward towards something brand new, a new idea. But again, we're having like a difficulty maintaining our direction, our goal, having a hard time getting there. It's again somebody who's very, excited about the direction they're going, but they need to know more about it so they can remain focused and steady. And it feels like you have the direction to move forward with the Ace of Wands, but here's this kind of, it's baby steps. Like, don't expect everything to change immediately, but it's baby steps. When you put your intention towards moving forward in a happier and more positive way, you will pay attention to people who come into your life like that. Show me more about the Knight of Wands. Why is it coming up? Ten of Wands coming out in reverse. Excellent. So, good. Okay, so we are getting the message. We are getting the message in regard to the burdens that we've connected to and carried through forever or throughout our lives, previous experiences and relationships and past lives that connect with us and where we feel it's hard to talk about past lives. A lot of people don't believe in it, and that's okay. You can just think about or consider your younger self in this life if that's something that you want to do. But with the Ten of Wands coming up, we have an energy that we are no longer willing to hold on to. We don't want to carry this negativity, the bonds that we've held on to, the barriers, the boundaries, the problems. It's letting it go when it comes to the Ten of Wands. It's no longer dealing with those types of issues to be held on to. So it's basically what I'm feeling here is like you address that, you get rid of that energy. Show me the Seven of Swords. Sorry, that actually wasn't ready. I want to shuffle. If that does come out, it does come out. That was the King of Pentacles, but show me the Seven of Swords. You have the Nine of Swords coming out here for the Seven of Swords. So this is something that irks you. It's something that is on your mind on a regular basis here in regard to moving forward in your life when it comes to relationships or connections or just conversations and the energies that people hold within our lives. It's about getting rid of toxic energies and no longer connecting with them. I don't know. It feels here, Sagittarius, that some of you may have had like a long-standing connection with just shitty people or shitty behavior. You're trying to get away from it. So you have the Four of Swords coming out. Again, it's this singular energy where we go and retreat within. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm getting for you guys. I don't want to ramble on just because it feels like I don't want to beat a dead horse, but, you know, we're basically dealing with how we experience relationships on multiple levels here. We're dealing with what makes us happy. And also, too, with the High Priestess coming out twice, like, I mean, I don't want to say relationships aren't important, but like, are relationships that important right now? Like with the High Priestess here twice, like this is an opportune time to deal with our own, to access and step within our own human spirituality, our divinity. Like this is the perfect time. Like you can separate your energy from these types of people in your life and have a much better outcome. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go. And I hope that this was helpful. Okay, I will do a Nocturna. Show me for Sagittarius, please. Okay. So you have Night Blooming Lily and you have Scorpion. Let's go ahead and read these for you. Just find the page. Night Blooming Lily. Love, purity, optimism, eloquence. Water lilies are aquatic plants that grow in a variety of conditions. Given that they have a body of still water to reside in many cultures they symbolize purity and love and are popular in wedding bouquets. They anchor their roots in the mud and produce a flower that blooms above the water. These flowers always return every year, even after the waters have dried up in previous seasons. Perhaps you too have bloomed from the muddiness of life. I feel that that is kind of the message here overall. Where have you experienced more within yourself? This desire to create more, to experience more on a multitude of levels, you know, internally, spiritually, also the finest and best of the best, you know, for yourself. That's a beautiful thing. A lot of us hold that back. Okay, so let's go ahead and look up Scorpion. Change, death, rebirth. With its poisonous sting, the scorpion is a classic symbol of death. Ancient Egyptians believed them to be spirits which grounded souls from one realm to the next. However, with this card is not a literal death, but a figurative one. Scorpions periodically shed their skins and grow a new one, up to 6 times in its lifetime. Perhaps it's time to shed your own skin, like an old relationship that runs its course, or a dead-end job that you've been at for far too long. Yes. Again, High Priestess, you're changing all over, Sagittarius, and I like it. I think it's wonderful, and I think it puts you in the direction for better things in your life. So, with that being said, I hope that this was helpful. If it was, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. If you are looking for a personal reading, feel free to contact me. My information is in the description box below. And if you want to leave a donation, there's also that information, PayPal, for the description box below. So I will talk to you guys later. I hope that this was helpful. Take care. Bye-bye.